Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the Artificial Intelligence session of Path Forward 3.0 2026, organized by the IEEEWI Student Branch Affinity Group of Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka. Before we begin today's session, I would like to mention that this is the second session and this is a series of six sessions designed to provide you with immediate learning experience and valuable knowledge. Today's session is focused on AI powered development, the rise of next gen orchestrator. This session is designed to help you understand the importance of artificial intelligence, discover how artificial intelligence is changing different industries, and learn about real world uses and future career opportunities. We are truly honored to have Cisco Labs as our knowledge partner for today's event. Path Forward 3.0 is a career guidance program that helps undergraduates gain industry experience and real world learning in areas such as software engineering, quality assurance, data science, DevOps, and project management. This program is designed to guide students in exploring different IT career paths and gaining real industry knowledge. So, through this program, students will gain real industry knowledge and make better career decisions. To really in today's program, I would like to invite Ms. R.M. Prasadini, Project Chair of Path Forward 3.0, IEEEWI Student Branch Affinity Group, Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the Artificial Intelligence session of Pathway 3.0 2026, which is organized by IEEE Student Branch Affinity Group of Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka. First of all, a special welcome goes to our resource person for the today's session, Mr. Bhutio Priyabhashana, a proud alumni of our faculty. It's truly an joining to share his valuable knowledge and industry experiences in the field. And we believe his journey and experiences will motivate and encourage the next generation of university, which means you. So, and also I would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to our knowledge partner, Cisco Lab Sri Lanka, for supporting this session and contributing to this success and of this initiative. And also at the end, a warm welcome to the all participants who participate today. And also, I have to say that thank you so much for joining because online sessions like this really like your participation make a real value for this session to make it successful and also meaningful. When it comes to the Pathway 3.0, this is our second session. So of this series, following our previous session on quality assurance and also today on artificial intelligence. And also, we hope you will continue to join with us for upcoming session as well. Best of luck and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Prasadini, for those inspiring words and warm welcome. Today's focus is AI powered development, the rise of the next gen orchestrator. Today, we will explore how artificial intelligence is transforming industries and changing the way we live, work, and solve problems. This session will help us understand the impact of AI in modern technology and how intelligent systems are helping organizations make smarter decisions and improve efficiency. We hope you enjoyed today's session and gain valuable insight into artificial intelligence and its future career opportunities. Now, let me take a moment to introduce our valuable Cisco. We proudly be partnered with Cisco Labs, the global in-house center of Cisco Corporation, the world's largest food service company, surviving over 730,000 customer locations worldwide and generating more than 81 billion US dollars in annual sales. Cisco is a global leader in the food service industry. Cisco Labs develops the advanced technology that powers Cisco's global operation from supply chain management and customer experience. With a global network of engineering hubs, it continues to drive innovation while maintaining a strong commitment and earning recognition such as the Gold Award for Export Brand of the Year at the 2025 Brand Excellence Awards.
Since the dawn of time, we've foraged the earth for sustenance. But it was technology that separated us as a species. Technology that allowed us to eat better, cultivate better, we designed smarter ways to grow the food we wanted to eat. And perfected science to make it last longer. The way that we choose to eat keep evolving. Food has now become an intimate part of our lives. It brings us together and shows how much we care, connects communities, and builds livelihoods for millions around the globe. But what if we could go further? What if we could trace the journey our food takes to better understand the impact it has on our planet, to make more sustainable food choices, transcend the limitations of time and space, to create a future of boundless abundance, and push the technology that enables food service to its next frontier? What if we could better connect the world to share food and care for one another? At Cisco Labs, we're finding solutions to do just this, because the technology that moves food moves human civilization.
Now we arrive the most important part of today's session. It's my pleasure to introduce our resource person, Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana, Associate Technical Lead at Cisco Labs. We are especially proud to mention that Mr. Buddhika is also one of respected alumni, and it is truly inspiring to see one of our own graduates achieving success in the technology industry. Mr. Buddhika has a lot of experience in the technology industry and worked on many innovative projects and technical solutions. Today, he will be sharing his professional experiences, industry insights, and valuable guidance in the field of artificial intelligence. We are truly proud to have him with us today, and we are excited to learn from his experiences and achievements. Please join me in warmly welcome Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana. We are truly excited to begin the session titled AI Powered Development, the Rise of the Next Gen Orchestrator. To guide us through this session, we are honored to have our resource person, Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana from Cisco Labs, with us today. We truly thank him for taking the time to share his valuable knowledge and experiences with us today. Without further delay, I would like to invite Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana to take over the session.
Okay. Thank you, Savindi, for the introduction. I'm really happy to be here with you in this evening, and I hope you can hear me and see me. Can someone confirm?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, nice. So let me quickly share the screen as well. Can you grant me the host? There are two accounts, so give the host to the account without the profile picture. Okay, thanks. Nice. I hope you can see the screen. So, it, as I mentioned before, it's really nice to be here with you all. Um, so, as Savindi mentioned, so I also one of the graduate from the Department of CIS, Applied Sciences at that time. So it's really great to see it. Now it's a faculty, and you are doing a really good job with all the events and all. So we are really proud of you guys, and so during the session, so you can ask any questions, you can put them into chat, and you can unmute yourself, and you can talk uh, and ask the questions if you have any. So try to grab the maximum out of the session because we have very limited time and there's a vast area to cover. And actually, I'm not going to teach anything related to the AI related things and how we can use artificial intelligence to develop our applications. So I'm just here to give some insight about what is going on in the industry and how you can prepare for these technologies in the industry. So that's why I am here. So as I mentioned before, I'm not going to teach anything. And sometimes you may know more than me about these things because you are really eager to find new things and experiment new things. And so when it comes to that, so you have that capabilities and capacity. And from my end, we are different. Just I'm having bit of experience in the industry experience, and we also using some kind of things during the industry time, and also we also experiment some things, and most of them are that I'm going to discuss today also as a part of the experiment we have done during the past 2 to 3 months. And I'm happy to be here and happy to share those with you. And I'm just consider me as an eye opener. So sometimes you may have heard about those things that I'm going to discuss before, but if you are hearing them in the first time, so take a note. And there are a lot of resources. You also have access to the same resources that I'm also referring, and you can do your own researches, right? And let's jump into the session. So okay, let me quickly share the screen again. Give me a second. Okay, I hope you can see the screen now. Right. So I'll skip these slides because those are related to the introductions. Right. So AI-powered development and with the rise of the next-gen orchestrators. So why I choose this topic? So we also using those uh, artificial intelligence related things to develop our application or whatever things, right? So most of the time you are doing that the same with your assignments and your new projects. And sometimes if you have been in the industry or kind of mentoring sessions So you have also used the same, right? And in that case, so anyway, we are using the AI, but are we using it in the right way? So that's the main question. So we have, every time we are considering these things, we have to find an answer to that question. So every time we are developing something using the AI, so we have to find that uh, capabilities, and also we have to refer most of the things, and also we have just prompting these things, and we are planning to get the out from that. So but in this case, so there are lot going on with the AI and day-to-day life as well. So you also are using the same, but there are a lot going on, right? And so when it comes to that, we have a proper guideline and proper way to finalize everything. So in this case, there are some frameworks that using in the industry, and there we can customize those frameworks as well. And during that time, so we also happened the same, those prompting related stuffs. We when you wanted to figure out something, let's say a bug, so we are also asking pilot with the manual prompts and all. But that approach is no longer valid in the industry. So I'll explain why during the presentation. And when it comes to this, so orchestrator, so this is also the main keyword that you need to put it into your mind. So traditional roles and handover designed for human execution, right? But now we are in a era, so there is no debate on that. So industry is using AI, students are using AI, every other persons are using AI. So now we are in the living in the AI era, but kind of a transition period, but almost we are here. And with that, we no longer do many tasks manually. So as an example, testing, code writing, documentation, and those kind of things we do not do in manually in industry as well. There are a lot of AI tools to do them on behalf of us, right? The key question is, if AI doing the work, who is orchestrating the process? So AI doing the work. So if we ask AI to come up with the let's say chat app, so it would generate a chat app. It would give a ready and deploy ready chat app. But who are going to orchestrate it? So if we are asking it in one prompt, so generate a chat application. So eventually it is generating a chat application by its own. But we are not going to give any other information. So this should be this should be this, and these are the framework that need to be using. So, but we cannot do that anymore, right? So we have to have the proper guardrails. So we have to drive our perspectives on that guardrail. So that's why we need to have an orchestrator instead of those developer or tester or that kind of roles. So that's where the orchestrator come into the play. So who or what is really building the software now? That's the main question, right? And let me move on. The role of the orchestrator, so not doing everything, but making everything work together. From now on, there is no any developers, there is no any QAs, there is no any PMs, there is no any Scrum Masters. So everything should be transformed into the orchestrator mindset, right? So if I'm a developer, if I'm a software engineer, so I also have that mindset, how the QA is going to happen, how the project management is going to happen, how the business logic is going to happen. So those kind of things, basic things, basic knowledge as well, I have to have them. So during this presentation, I'm mainly focusing on what are the things that you need to develop to be an next level orchestrator, right? Instead of being a just regular IT guy, right? And when it comes to that, so during the transformation period to be an orchestrator from your current level, so there are so many focus areas that we have identified. So if you are orchestrator, if you are handling the artificial intelligence tool kind of things to generate the new application or anything, so you need to have the frame, you need to have the clear understanding about the frame that you are going to go in, right? So with that, you have to define. very you have knowledgeable about define intents and outcomes. So most of the things should be outcome focused. I'll discuss them during the presentation in later slides. And you have to coordinate AI agents, tools, and terms. What are the AI agents, tools, and terms? I'll discuss them as well. And you have to connect workflows end to end. Workflows means from requirement specification to the testing perspective. You have to gather everything with you, right? So now you are the one who places the missing pieces into the correct places. And first you have to find the missing pieces and you have to place them in the correct way, right? And ensure quality, security, and business value. Everything is depend on that. So that's why I mentioned before as well, we have to focus on our outputs first, right? We have to have the clear understanding about the output we are willing to have, and then you have to drive and you have to gather everything based on that, right? Uh, I'm happy to have some and feedback as well, because instead of saying everything again, so it's better to engage with the session as well. So I know online sessions are kind of tough. So, but anyway, so this is the opportunity that we are also having. So, but try to ask some questions, try to clarify if you have anything, and if you have tried everything, anything. So this is the best time to have the clarifications and raise concerns, right? Okay, let's move on. So to be an orchestrator, there are several areas that we need to focus. Prompt engineering, and exactly. So be sure, prompt engineering, you should master about the prompt engineering. I will discuss them during the presentation. And you have to write structured and precise prompt, how the beta. So the context engineering is also really important, same as the prompt engineering. First, you have to identify the context, and then you can place what are the things you need to focus on, and those kind of things should be the context. So without that context, you cannot properly place the guardrails that I mentioned before, right? And you have to designing context pipeline and for accurate outputs. So everything should be covered under context engineering. I'll separately cover those parts as well. Validation and governance. This is really important. So because AI is kind of giving any output. It is if I'm saying it to generate the calculator app, and you also asking to generate the calculator app, the UI can be same, the functionality can be same, but the logic can be never same, right? Though there are a lot of factors that influence on that. So that's why we need to have a proper frame uh, instead of typing the random prompts, right? So eventually I will get you to that point, so that how we can place those guardrails and all, and right. And with understanding social capabilities and so kind of things called, and I'll discuss them as well. These are real simple terminologies you are having. No major technical things in the artificial is by default it should address that, right? So there are no any major techie things. Hallucination detection. Okay, have a question as well. Okay, so I have one question. I'll answer to that later, and because I will cover those later. So, and this hallucination detection, this is really important. Hallucination, this is kind of a psychological thing. So there is some these psychological disorders as well, with including hallucinations. The same kind of things is also happening with the AI agents, right? During the AI generation or something kind of things, hallucination is takes place. As soon as hallucination is happened, we have to identify that and address that, because hallucination means it is hallucinating its own result, and it is working on that instead of our commands or prompts that we have given. So if we are asking to generate the calculator app, so it is trying to generate the calculator app, but in the meantime, it is kind of thinking to add some kind of complex functionalities. So eventually, it thinks that's the requirements coming from me. Sometimes the calculator app can be ended up with kind of a complex algorithm related calculator as well, right? So those kind of things can be happen, and we have to detect those hallucination things during the imitation. So we also should be aware about if you are yeah, right. And model selection and optimization, it's really important. I will cover those. So AI workflow orchestration. So this is actually you are going workflow orchestration from top. So you have to piece piece things together, and you have to make it work as we expected, right? And human involvement is really important during the process, and you should know where's the point that you need to involve, and also where's the point that you need to hand over to AI to do the rest of the things, and those kind of things you should have the better understanding to have that. And validation and governance is also really important. Once it is generated the output, so you can ask many questions: why it is generated like this, why that happened, why this logic is like this, why this library is important. So you can have the chat and have the argument with the AI chat with the expected with the result that it is given, and expected result that you have, right? And security compliance, it is also important. So we have to shift focus from the task execution to outcome orchestration. So this is really important. So everything should be outcome based, right? And think beyond the code, understand the business goal, delivery as well, and know when to leverage AI. So I mentioned that this before as well. You need to know where it is it should use the AI, or where you need to involve during the process. So build the ability to coordinate multiple tools, agents, and workflows, and I'll discuss them. And you can have the overall understanding, and you can do your own research on those areas, right? And success is measured by value that you have developed, delivered, right? And coming to that question, which programming languages are most useful for AI development? Any programming language is compatible. So that's the main goal. So even if it is Java, if it's a JavaScript, it's a Python, so anything can be anything, right? So everything can be covered under this AI umbrella, right? Okay, nice. Thanks for that questions. And if others also have any questions, so bring them to me. Let's move forward. Okay, let's come to our agenda. So I'll discuss about applied context and prompt engineering and AI model switching and agentic techniques, leverage Copilot capabilities, MCPs, cloud agents. Those can be new words, but don't worry. And I'll mainly focus on GitHub Copilot features and GitHub Copilot cloud agents, engineering practice, driven development, customized GitHub Copilot. Those kind of things would be covered during the presentation. And I will not cover those things in order as mentioned. Covered, right? And okay, the main thing is I picked GitHub Copilot as my code companion. So in industry is also widely using that. So any of you have experience using the GitHub Copilot? Do you have set up the Copilot in your ID or in your cloud environment? Can I see some hands, raise hands? Do you have the GitHub accounts? Okay, nice. I can see some hands. So I guess you have more. I guess you should have a GitHub account by now, because without that you cannot anyway move forward. So if you have a GitHub account, so it is really easy to have the GitHub Copilot. Some of you may also integrated it with your IDEs. And so let's see. And let me move on to the next slide. So when it comes to that GitHub Copilot, there are a lot of Copilot features, right? So now you have to have that orchestrator mindset. So you have a lot of features, and you need to pick what is required and what is the suitable one. You have to have that decision. You have to have the capability to take that decision, right? And in here, I'm using the VS Code. It is really easy to use, and it is really compatible with the GitHub Copilot. And I recommend it to use as well to you as well, because with that I'm going to use the GitHub IDE. You can use the GitHub Cloud Agent as well. I'll show how you can use, but I'll briefly explain how you can get the Copilot to your IDE here. So in the extension tab, yeah, in here, the extension tab, you can see this GitHub Copilot chat extension. You can enable it, and once you enable it, it will be GitHub account. So if you have a GitHub account, you can log in through that GitHub account, and then you can use the same, right? You can use very easily. So as a result of that, as a successful login, so you will be getting this. So in here, you can see this is the Copilot chat, and right. So even if it is appeared as a very uh, simple UI, so it is doing a lot of work. So we are most of the times we also having the advantage of this GitHub Copilot. So you can ask anything to here, and I'll say what are the agents, what are the modes, what are the things that you need to specifically mention. But I'll come to that part. For now, let's move on with the slides. And here as well, when it comes to the IDE, so it is having the Copilot chat, and you are going to have the model pickers, and model is also important, and I'll discuss about the models as well. It is a really good skill to pick the correct model at the correct time. And when it comes to the agent mode, it is also really important. And MCP servers, it's kind of a different approach. And code reviews, you can do the code reviews, and PR summaries and custom instructions. Everything is there with the with that simple screen that I showed before, right? And not only with the IDEs, not only with your VS Code. So when it comes to the GitHub, your GitHub account, it also provided a lot of services with incorporated with the GitHub Copilot as a cloud agent. So you can have the discussion with the GitHub Copilot, and Copilot spaces can be created. So you can share the thoughts across the teams to create the spaces. And Copilot Cloud Agents is also really important, and you can get the insights, text completion, PR summaries, custom instructions. Everything is there. So every task that we are currently doing during our implementation and all, so those options are there, right? Only we need to know how to use them effectively, right? And I got one other question as well. What skill should university student develop to search AI or data science internship? So definitely now the situation is totally different than in previous when we were in the universities. So definitely you need to have the same skill set that I'm going to mention today. Whether it can be, you can be a developer, you can be a QA, PM, anyone. So but you have that specific skill set, that specific orchestrator skill set to be in the industry other than any other things, right? So every other things come to the second part as of now, but those are also really important. I'm not going to emphasize the importance of the basics and fundamentals. So those should be definitely should be there, but instead of that, these are the things also should be mastery. So you have the really good opportunity with your projects, individual projects and research works. So there are a lot of opportunities that you can master those simple skills as well as I mentioned before, there are not any other complex things. So it is just pick a model and just drive the Copilot through the flow to the destination that we are expecting to go, right? Okay, let's move forward. So I mentioned most of the AI tools before. So now, as orchestrator, so now you have to have the orchestrator mindset, and now you have to know what are the tool that incorporated with the processing flows, right? So when it comes to the planning, there are a lot of tools you can get advantages. This is Copilot chat in GitHub, Copilot Spaces, those kind of things can be used. You need to know what are those. So simply Copilot chat is this one. This is the Copilot chat, and the same kind of environment you can see in the web. So this is the Copilot chat in your GitHub account. So that's what it is mentioned here. And Copilot spaces. So you can see here, when you create a space, you can collaborate with other colleagues, right? So those kind of things are there. So just take a screenshot or take a photo or anything in these slides and search those terms, and you can do your own research work on them. So planning, so we can use those things. So when it comes to code generation, there are a lot of facilitators are there. Copilot code completion, next edit sessions, I'll discuss them about those next edit sessions and all. And Copilot chat, same as the cloud agents, Copilot spaces. And for the review process, once you implement the code, so you need to test. So when you open the PR, so GitHub, you can use the GitHub as a reviewer as well, right? And for the testing operations, development, deployment, in every phases you can use those tools, but you have the better understanding which tool you can use in the which phase. The correct tool picking is a skill set that you can have to be an orchestrator, right? So now you have to have that mindset. Not just you are not just a developer from now on. You have to handle things, right? Let me move forward. So now let's jump to the context engineering. So better context, better code sections, right? So as an example, so this is a simple application that I created. This is also created using the Copilot chat. I asked to create it on behalf of me, and it created. Okay, this is a simple application. I don't want to show the application, but I'm trying to give the insight about this context engineering. So when it comes to the context engineering, so you have to have the better context in this case. So I'll explain more about this context related thing later. But if you refer these slides, so you can see there are two options we have: code completion, real-time generation, and next edit sections. So if you are using GitHub Copilot, so as an example, let me pick so don't get upset if I'm showing the codes. I'm not explaining everything, but this is a simple thing. Let's say div here. See, it is suggesting rest of the part, right? So I didn't give any instructions. I didn't give any guardrails to follow, but it is giving suggestions without context. So I have not defined any context. No? So it is basically referring the current pattern of the code base, and it is suggesting some kind of suitable scenarios here. So already that capability is there. So it is suggesting something. So what we need to improve that. We need to bring them into the requirement that is suitable for us, right? So now from now on, I do not need to worry about any props passing and all those kind of things. I do not need to worry. So if I open a div tag, so it is suggesting the rest. So during the process, during the context engineering, you have to have the ability to have the correct suggestions for that, right? So it is suggesting to suggestions. One is just with the class name, and one is with the props, right? So this is one thing, and you can you so you can do it like this as well. If you are explaining your requirement as a comment, so it is suggesting the rest of the part. So this is I mentioned here code completion. So if I open if I add a comment to implement sorry introduce a div tag, it is doing the rest. And next suggestions means if I open a div tag, the rest of the part would be suggested. So those are the things that I mentioned here. So if you have that Copilot extension with you, so those kind of capabilities will be there. So no matter the programming languages, so it is supporting any programming languages that you have, right? Okay. 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 Let's move on. So a lot to cover. Just take a note of these things and search those things. So it is there are a lot of articles, and there are a lot of tutorials are there, and even you can ask directly from the Copilot. So how I can do that, how I can find this, how I can use effectively the Copilot, right? So that flow is yours. So when it comes to context engineering, the next point is really important. So different modes for different thinking styles. So with the GitHub Copilot, you are by default you are getting 3 agents. So 3 agents, 3 modes. One is plan mode, ask mode, and agent mode. Plan mode is for planning things, obviously, thinking before code, and it helps to define approach, architecture, and steps, and it break down the problem into clear execution plans. And also we can use that for the starting a new feature and understanding complex requirements. And when it comes to the ask mode, and ask questions about code behaviors and errors. So if you are facing any bugs, so you can directly use ask mode and ask it to explain me what's going on here, right? So those kind of things. And we need to use so debugging issues and learning new concepts, understanding unfamiliar code. So with the ask mode, so you can have a good chat about the implementation or chat about the technologies that is using. So those kind of things you can deal with the ask mode. So agent mode, a really important one. You can generate the code using the agent mode and perform tasks, generate code, refactor logic, update multiple files. So those capabilities are there with the agent mode. And you can use that in the implementing features, refactoring code bases, and automating repetitive work, right? Um, okay, let me quickly show how you can use that 3 modes here. So, component file. Okay, before going to that, Purnima or Savindi, can I get an idea about the audience here? Is there any third year, fourth year students? Organizing committee can answer that. You can hear me, right?
Yes,
Okay.
actually, yeah, for second year and first year thing.
Okay, okay, nice. So I think even for the first years, you that this is application, and so this is a simple component file. So you do not need to have the idea about what are the components and all. So what are the technologies and what are the depth of the React application. So I'm just going to show some things that you can do using the Copilot, right? So there is a component file, so result card, and you can see there are 5 errors here. So this 5 means 5 errors. So here, so you can see this underline, curly underline. So it means there are errors. So these are the errors, right? And now I need to have the understanding about those errors. So if you inspect this Copilot chat, you can see here there's a tab called a button called agent. When you click it, so you can see those three modes that I explained before: agent mode, ask mode, and plan mode, right? So I'm going to start with the ask mode. So now I'm going to resolve these issues that is there in this code base. I'm going to use the ask mode. So if you are also having the same, right? So you and I are really equal with this in this platform. Only difference is the bit of experience I have kind of using them, right? Okay, I'm using the ask mode, and now I'm going to ask. I can so if you open the file in here, it is appearing here as well. I can pin this file like this, right? It is pinned to the chat. So now the chat knows. um expand this. Now the chat knows I am going to ask about this specific file. So I'm going to give a prompt. This file contains some errors. uh, what's the cause, right? So I selected the ask mode, and I'm going to ask a question. So let's see. Now it is starting to consider the prompt that I have entered, and it is going to inspect the pinned file as well. So don't consider this as a technical kind of session, and I'm not going to teach coding or AI. Just saying how you can use the same, and that's the main points that I need to convey, right? Okay, here. So it found the code. I inspect this component and related type source issues. And when it comes to here, it has identified the cause. There are Tailwind CSS version 4 class normalization diagnostic. So it is not type strict logic errors, but it is related to Tailwind, which is a styling kind of thing. And it has identified most of the cause. It has identified the causes as well, and it is mentioning them in detail. Right now, I have the context understanding about the errors, why those errors are there. So I use ask mode. Now I'm going to use this plan mode, right? So now I'm going to give a prompt. This is a very plain English based on the course. Give you a plan to resolve issue, right? So very simple language, very simple plain language. And now I'm going to use the plan. So now rest of the part would be handled by the plan mode, right? So now I'm expecting to have a plan to resolve these issues. This is a really simple one. So same kind of approach you can use to very complex task as well. Nothing to do else. So these can Copilot to code this kind of model, large language model issue incorporated with thousands of requests. So it doesn't matter. So you just need to use this. And I'm going to have the plan. Let's see what it is going to give. So now it is going to create a plan for this. Okay. I hope you are with me. And if you are boring, so you can left a message to me with the questions. And if you do not have question, you can again ask Copilot too. I'm in a kind of AI Copilot session. What are the questions that I need to ask, kind of thing, and post some questions in the chat as well. I'm doing that in some of sessions because I also do not ask as well. So do not have the idea about context. So I'm not having the idea about the question to ask as well. So at times in that case, AI is supporting me as well. The see it is giving a summary as well. So this is the step that is to issue. So from phase 1 to phase 13. So there are 13 step processes going on to resolve the and now a plan as well. Now I'm going to use the agent mode. So agent is mode what? Driven feature, right? And I selected the agent mode. I can suggest as well, right? And I'm not going. I do not need to type anything to the chat. So I to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 8 kind of words as well. By I can save them as well. So by clicking this, so I'm going to implement the solution. Let's see how it is. It is reading everything and it is generating the patch. Yeah, those errors are gone, right? So this is the new suggested styles. Those errors are gone. Just 3 steps. The same approach that you can take for the very complex situations as well, right? Okay, I have a question. Can I use Claude AI instead of that one? Really good question. Claude is not a mode. It is a model, right? I'm discussing about modes. These are the modes, and there are separate set of models. So I'll discuss the models in later as well. It's a really good question. So I think you have that context idea about what we know here. Okay, it is identified some other issues as well. Now it is going to resolve, and I'm not going to. Let's go to the presentation, right? So those are that we have ask mode and agent mode, and instead of that, we can have some custom agents as well. I'll discuss them as well, but we have only 5 minutes. Let's see. Okay, the time is really challenging with these kind of things. These are the interesting things. We cannot have that fun through the online. So it is really important to have kind of physical sessions and touch them, and we can have a proactive discussion, and we can go through that together. So with the physical session, this would really preferred in these kind of things. If not, I'm saying you are hearing or I don't, but these are the things, right? So like that, it is going on and on. So you can enter those things, and I'm going to keep the solution that it has given. Right, prompt engineering really important without a doubt. So everything should be covered. Everything should be depend on this prompt engineering part. But when it comes to now it is we do not use much prompts. Instead of that, we are defining those guardrails. So I'll tell exactly what should we do to set up those guardrail. But anyway, even with the guardrail setup, so we have to have the understanding about prompt engineering, right? So there are a lot of techniques. I have picked 4 techniques here. Few short prompting. So write down now, capture these slides and search by yourself. What are those? So when it comes to future prompting, so provide examples in the prompt, and it would help to understand the exact expected patterns and output styles. So as much as possible details that you can uh, give to the AI companion. So give the best output. New tasks without extensive. So doesn't need to any other. So in that case, you can prompting. It's a technique and chain of thought prompting. Ask listen step by step. I did the same thing. I ask it to identify the course. I ask it to have the plan for the fix, and I ask it to implement the fix. Kind of a chain of thought from I did, right? And when it comes to the RAG, retrieval augmented generation, you can refer outside sources, right? And you can use documents, you can use Figma designs, and you can use knowledge bases and everything, right? So you can use outside references. So that's we call RAG. And step back prompting is ask AI to step back and re-evaluating problems and focus on big picture before solving, right? So those kind of things are there, and you can search and have the understanding about them. So I need to again emphasize, you need to have that orchestrator mindset. So which prompting style I should use to that. So, but before that, you have to have the experience about everything. So every prompting techniques, these four prompting techniques, you have to experience. That's why that's the way you can have you can pick the most suitable one, right? Okay, let's move on. So now we are coming to that model part. So this is about that cloud related one. So Copilot is giving giving the capabilities to switching between AI models. So this is not modes; these are models, right? ChatGPT is a model, AI is a model, and is a model. Those are the models, and based on that, we are going to pick more suitable one, right? So Copilot Chat is giving that feasibility as well. Switching AI models, this is really important in this orchestrated context as well. And because this is the models playing major part in this uh, AI code generation or software development, anything. Various models are available across platforms and find suitable pricing model. So it comes with the cost in this when it comes to that advancement and all. But one model does not fit every engineering problem. So you have to find the correct model. I'll give a kind of a map to pick the correct model to that. But with your free versions, I don't think you can access most of the models. But even in the free access, you can pick a better model that's suitable to you, right? And other than the model, okay, let me here. So here next to the agent, you can see this photo and you can see these models. So there are a lot of models, Cloud Sonnet and Cloud Opus 4.8. I will show them in the slide there. And so these are the models. Simply these are the models. You can pick anyone. So you can use Cloud Sonnet for implementing the same patch that I have implemented before, right? And you can use GPT 5.5 and other models as well. So when it comes to this one, here you can see a lot of. So this is the settings page in the GitHub, and you can find your Copilot features and Copilot Cloud Agent here in this place. And here there are all the details. Anthropic Cloud and related models are there. So you can have them enabled as well based on your pricing model. If it is a free version, there are limited set of models available. These are the things that it is that I mentioned, right? And instead of that, so it comes with the instruction, define coding style, patterns, align with the team practices and all. So custom instruction is also really important, and you have to have the knowledge about handling those things as well. When it comes to the next part, MCPs, model context protocol, really important one when it comes to the industry. So MCP means basically you are going to link your Copilot chat with outside sources. So before about the RAG, so we are referring to outside documentations. So let's say we are using Atlassian one pager. So we can have the one page Atlassian MCP to link the Copilot chat with the that specific document. So then we just need to give the document. The rest of the part would be by the Copilot chat itself, right? This is the same thing, same for the Figma as well. I think you know about Figma. Figma is kind of a designing tool that UI UX engineers can use to design the UIs. So if we receive some UIs to implement, so we have to follow those stylings and class names and all by ourselves manually. But if you are using MCP and model context protocol, you have that link between your Copilot chat and the Figma link. So then it is those Figma links and it is fetching those stylings, right? And if you see here, so if I go into MCPs, so here I have configured that MCP, sorry, Figma MCP here. So then if I use any Figma link that related to points, and I can ask Copilot to access those Figma links directly. Right? Okay, let's move forward. So these are the map that I mentioned before. So for the Gen coding, so you can use ChatGPT 5.3 for the small tasks and GPT as well, and Grok, Raptor. So those kind of models you can use for less complex tasks. For the deep reasoning, debugging kind of analysis task, you can use this Sonnet 4.6 and Opus 4.6. These are the really advanced models. I think those are come with some pricing models. You have to pay for using them. And now it is now there's Opus 4.8 as well, really advanced. So if you can see the table here, really advanced, and these are doing most of the implementation complex tasks with a split seconds. And if you are working with visuals, you can use GPT-5 model and Gemini. And for fast, low basic tasks, if you are working on, so you can simply use GPT 4.6. Kind of, it will be a free version. And let's move on. So, um, right. So I'm not do this slide more. This is about the overall picture, about these differences of the agents that I showed. Right. Okay. Any questions? I cannot see any. I think you can hear me as well. I'm not getting any feedbacks. Okay. So which screen you are seeing? Copilot Cloud Agent screen? Can someone? Which screen you are seeing? Is it Copilot Cloud Agent screen? The slide?
Can see the slides.
Okay, the Copilot Cloud Agent screen, right? Which screen the kind?
Use the correct model, like it's as a general purpose coding, like the
Okay, is it?
models.
So, okay, okay. Let me reshare the. Okay. So if the slides, let me know. Okay, can you see the slides? Hello?
Not yet, sir. We still sharing.
Oh,
Now we can see.
okay, great. So kind of technical difficulty I'm also facing, and let's discuss this slide. And Copilot Cloud Agent, so this is the Cloud Agent that I previously showed. And here, so you can use this pilot chat. It is in the also there. And so main differences between agent mode and cloud agent. So agent mode basically work inside the IDE. Cloud agent is inside the GitHub platform. So those kind of differences are there. Right. Let's move on. So with all those knowledge, so with the knowledge about the prompt engineering, context engineering, models, mods, with all these knowledge, again, there is a risk to have that vibe coding trap. So what is vibe coding? So vibe coding means you are discuss something, you are describing what you want in natural language, as I previously showed. So I'm just asking it to do the translation part natural language. And AI generated most of the code. And while the deeper guide reviews and iterate on the output. So you have to time involved in the process. Sometimes it is generating some erroneous codes. You have to fix them manually, and you have to follow the trial and error coding. And this failing again, you have to involve in the process, and you have to again give some different prompt to continue the process. Those kind of things are there with the vibe coding, right? I'm sure if you are using that kind of things, if you are generating applications, so you are using vibe coding. So vibe coding helps in rapid prototyping and iteration kind of for the major development task. You cannot develop at uh, so implement the button, add a button to here, center the button, and then green color to the button, and create this API, handle these input requests and responses. So those kind of things you cannot give every time with those vibe coding, and it is really very inconsistent, right? So you are not following any standards with that. And that's why we have to avoid this vibe coding until it is really necessary. So for that kind of a project driven development, this is a modern framework that you can use to have kind of proper uh, proper framed approach, right? So as I mentioned before, the main view of the orchestrator is setting the guardrails. So these are the guardrails that we are going to set, right? So we are we are practicing in the industry as well. We are using them in the industry as well. Spec-driven development, write down the word and do your own research. So it is basically come up with the specs. So specs means basically requirements, features. So as an example, we can say at a dialog box when click the green button, right? Those kind of requirements. So we can clearly explain those requirements in the Copilot. So we can use some kind of markdown documents and other uh, links to the MCPs and also API designs and that kind of thing you can use. Then it is going to go through a called constitution. So constitution is the one, the rule, right? So it is constitutions is the rules as same as the our country's constitution. So when it comes to AI, also we our own constitution for our own code bases. That is what we are currently doing. So we can have those kind of constitution. We can have set of rules uh, to introduce those guardrails, right? So then we can cater those application to the uh, constitution, and we get the outcomes. So with that, we can have the faster development, reduce errors, and improve collaboration, automated testing. Those kind of things are there, right? So let me quickly solution. This not a rocket science. So let's say I'm going to reverse engineering same approach. Let's see, I'm going to have the unit test in I I can do can generate unit tests. So if I execute this, so it will give the same. It is also somehow, but the same in later, but it may not refer the same practice, right? So that's why. So let me first create a new folder inside the GitHub folder. Constitutions, right? So now I'm going to copy the relative path. So I'm going to paste here, and I'm going to say follow spec driven development. So then it could so it would do its own research and figure out what is spec driven development, and then create a constitution to generate unit tests. Test inside the mention for folder. Right. So I'm going to create one of the constitution to generate the unit test. Right. So then again, I'm expecting to have the guardrails for those constitutions, and let's see how it is going to go. I don't know what would be the output. So let's ask it to do. So I'm expecting to have kind of a constitution file inside that folder with all the instructions to create the unit test for this application. I think you know about unit test, right? So unit test is the test cases that developers should have to write to make sure that everything is in order if before moving that to the code to the production. Okay, nice. So it is going to create. I create an SVD focus constitution. Now it knows what is SVD because it has sources. It has find the sources. So even looks like a word driven development. So this is what it is, right? Simple. We are just asking it to set a bullet, and it has created this for us. It is also completed. So now we are in a process to do the driven development, right? What it is saying. Right, unit test constitution. I have the constitution. Purpose is to constitution is to create the unit test scope, apply to all unit tests for can core principles, steps before test, and one behavior per test. So it is also expected with the unit test. Traceability, so everything is there. So this is same for the feature implementation as well, right? I chose the unit test because it is straightforward. So now it has generated the set of rules for us, right? So again, I need to remind. So you need to have that orchestrator mindset. So this is exactly what we are going to do. What is going to do? Can I completely replace human work in the future with AI? I'm not sure because that's the role of the human. Every time there should be a role of the human. If not, how we can do? So even let's say we are asking to create the application for us, but application is creating for humans, and there should be right. So you need to be adopted that because in the industry now currently we are not doing the manual QA testing. So previously there's a separate QA normal, quality engineers, and they are when we release a new features, they are going to click all the buttons, they are going to cross check all the wordings. So now in the industry we are not going to do that, so we are just using the functional test. Now QEs are writing the functional test using the cloud agents. So that's evolving. That's also human is not replaced with the AI, but human need to adopt what is going on, right? So now QEs also have to implement the code, I mean the functional test in the code base, and they have to commit that to the GitHub repositories. They also know what is going to happen in the GitHub. And previously they are not going to worry about those commits and pull requests and all. Now they have to have the understanding about GitHub as well, instead of these AI related things, right? Okay, now I have that this constitution, right? Now I'm going to generate a unit test for one of the component that I have. So it has one line, and I pin that constitution here. I'm going to pin the component file as well. Now I'm going to ask it to generate unit tests. So we are doing that spec driven development, right? So I have a requirement. The requirement is to generate the unit test, and I have the set of rules. So that I created those rules by using the Copilot, and I have that constitution. Now I have that spec as well. Spec means this requirement with this file and those kind of simple words, 3 or 4 words. And now I'm going to ask it to generate the unit test. So now it is going to refer the constitution, and I hope it would generate some unit tests for me. And previously we manually written those unit tests, and we spent days for write that. Right? I'm not sure what will be the output for these as well. Traditional have now spec driven development. So now you have the idea, now you have the spec. So let's say as an example, instead of programs, what is this application is about? First. Okay, so this is the application. So you have this is kind of a burnout entry that this research I have done kind of 1 year back to evaluate to assess the burnout of the industry professionals, and did that research. Is kind of a cycle related part, and the subscriptions, and so the component that is in here. So all the application has these 4 components. Now as an example, I need to add another button here, a new requirement. So I can have the spec based on that. I need to add the button to the question card. Means question card. It means this component, and at the when I click color button, it should appear dialog box. Inside the dialog box, I have to deviate from the flow, kind of that requirements. So we have to have that spec. Spec means implementations, right? Okay. Okay, I have. So it is here. So it is creating those tests. So if I manually put those tests, I have to spend it for kind of complex task, I would say. But you can see, right? So a lot of test cases it has generated. See, and it is also running and verifying as well. So this is simply the spec, nothing much more. So yeah, instead of doing the vibe, try to come up with this kind of headache at that time. But now any of that. So we can those kind of things. Now we have a set of instructions. So as a activity, let's run one of these tests. So now it is going to run. So all 16 tests are passed, right? I didn't innovate any of these tests. So I have this application. Now I generated this unit test here. If you do not have that idea about unit test and all, so when you go to the going to implement and all, so you will remember this moment as well. So it generate unit test within 1 or 2 minutes, and it is giving the sample. Really easy, right? And so it is really based on this constitution. So we can have this kind of constitution for the feature implementation as well, right? Instead of unit test generation, right? So this is a spec driven development. So you have the spec, and you can validate it, you can generate, and also in finally you can verify the test. It is almost past, but there are small things to discuss. Give me some another one, another 5 minutes. So if you can have a physical session, this is really fascinating, right? So you can do a lot of work with that. By the way, so try to grab this opportunity and try to use one of try to experiment one of these kind of things. So sometimes if you are searching spec driven development in the YouTube, you will get kind of different approaches. As I mentioned before, the only differences between you and me is the experience that I have than you, right? Those are the things I'm doing based on the experience as well instead of the technology, right? So I can pass down that experience to you as well, like this. So let's see. So traditional SDLC you already know, and we have now AI-driven lifecycle as well. So kind of different than the traditional flow. And product vision and guardrail specs, review and generate, verify and testing, development, maintenance. Everything is there, right? I'm not going to stick on that slide. So 5 phase life cycle when it comes to the spec-driven development. First, you have to have the solid foundation. So we unit generation, and we can have the same kind of constitution for kind of feature implementations, functional test development, right? And so then you can have that specifications and functional requirement and user stories. So explain as much as possible in detail those requirements. Then it would not derail, and it would stick into the flow, and it would specifically follow the constitution that we earlier created. And now then you have to plan the approach, and you have to have the work breakdown. The Copilot will do that part for you, and then finally you are going to implement. So nothing complex task, right? Intelligence has come to this level. And one very interesting thing I need to show here. Now we have that constitution, right? But there are a lot of details, and we can have a kind of encapsulation to this one. You know, encapsulation, right? So even with all the AI things, so you need that foundation, double OP concepts, encapsulations. Now I'm going to encapsulate this whole technical document with the custom agent. Custom agent, you do not need to expose these kind of to others, no? Every time this technical document, no need to show to others, right? No need to go to that. And if you can remember, so I had to pin that in the component file here, and then again I had to enter the prompt to implement the unit test, generate the unit test. Now I'm going to introduce an agent here. So let's see, I'm going to create a new folder, agents. Right. I'm going to copy that relative part, and I'm going here, generate, create a custom agent that can access the technical constitution. Constitution create a custom agent that can access print constitution and generate limit tests. Right, I'm going to here. Then we prefer those documents. Let's see what will be the output. So so like that, you can create custom agents. Now it is going to next, yeah, agent customization. Let's see agent scripting. Schema. Okay. So I'm expecting to create one of the files here. Yeah, it is already generated. This is the agent file. Okay, now we have so all the display there and startup are there, and so everything is there. It is referring the constitution file. In the constitution file, but I need to check once. You can see our new STD unit agent. Now you don't need to refer those technical constitution every time. So simply you can pick your agent. You can pick your agent and you can do the unit test generation for the specific component files, right? Okay, then let's move forward. So this is the end. We have come to the end. And don't be a regular IT guy. So be the next gen orchestrator. Try everything by yourself. There are a lot of resources out there, and you just need to put some kind of time investment on that and search them and use them. So even without those, it is really hard to survive in the not in the industry in a degree program as well. Kind of. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Just before wrapping up, I need to um, convey my gratitude to all the organizing committee. So Purnima did a really great job by coordinating me and coordinating the Cisco Lab colleagues to have Cisco Labs as a knowledge partner. So thank you, Purnima, for that, and thank you for having me. And thank you, Savindi, for the hosting the session and also for the introduction and all. So if you have any other questions, you can contact me as well through the LinkedIn support. So the organizing committee has my mobile number as well. And yeah, that's all I have to say. And thank you very much. Over to you, organizing committee.
For that insightful session, we truly appreciate knowledge, idea, and practical insight you shared today, sir. Sure, everyone has gained a understanding. Thank you once again, sir. Now we are moving into the interactive Q&A session. This is a great opportunity for all of you to clear your doubts and learn directly from our sir. I kindly invite everyone to actively participate and ask your questions.
Just so practice that. So if you are joining a session or lecture or something, so ask questions. So that's the only way to engage with the session, so lecture or something, and as well as it's a really good way to gather information and find new knowledge, right? So floor is yours. If you have any questions, you can ask. Don't you have any predefined questions as well? Kind of organizing a session, so you probably have that, right, to ask during the Q&A session. No?
Feel free to ask questions. Give chance to connect and learn.
Yeah, I have one question. Considering the current competitive job market, what qualification should I prepare to secure a software engineering internship? So this is really good question, and this is a really time. Um, this is a really good time to ask as well if you are first year or second year. So actually, so when it comes to the industry, there are a lot of expectations, and in previously, but when it comes to now, there are some kind of framework that we are also trying to find. So AI kind of thing is about your skills, coding skills or something. So it is mainly about attitude that is not yet taken. That stance is still there. So your attitude first, and communication and the skills should be there. And along with all the things, technical skills be there. Other than the technical skills, you have to have the foundation level knowledge, right? Those basics understanding. There should be definitely there should be basic understanding. When it comes to the industrial, this to have the kind of multiple projects with you, kind of team projects and kind of project and showcase your abilities. And even with the project work, use AI and proper suites, right? So those kind of things. So you have some specific set of skill sets to showcase yourself during the interviews with your CVs, right? So we are also having thousands of applications, and we are just picking some of them. But if you are willing to have that, really how the so and have the about everything, and need to have the understand, no need to have the knowledge thing, but you have to have the understanding about uh, handling everything, right? So this is the answer to that question. Do you think prompt engineering will remain standalone skill, or will it become part of a universe? Prompt engineering eventually becomes the skill of part of the, this AI journey anyway. From the beginning, it is best to identify the way to identify optimize the way to that optimize to the prompt engineering techniques and all. It is better to have spec development. Are not using those prompts, right? But we need prompts to define specs. So in this case, we need to have understanding about how we can clearly convey our requirements to the copilot to generate the rest of the code, right? And I can recommend first have the copilot chat session and have copilot chat agents, and open a VS Code, have that extension, and ask it to generate a new project, whatever it is. And then again, you can practice it. Based on that, most of the part would be covered by the reverse engineering. So when we ask it to generate the code base, it is generating the code base. Now we are going to reverse engineering that code to generate, to set our guardrails, right? Um, are there any limitations when using an AI agent? Yes, there are a lot of limitations. First one is that pricing models. So everything comes with the price. So when it comes to advanced models, but with the free version, there is a kind of extent you can reach. But if you are using kind of complex model, there is you have to pay for that. That we are also we are trying to optimize the flow. We also have some kind of constitutions, and we are these days we are optimizing those constitutions that to have the better pricing model, right? Okay, thanks for that question. So if you have any other questions, you can raise. So it is almost to 8:18.
Thank you for your corrections and thank you, sir. At this moment, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana for sharing his valuable knowledge and experiences with us today. Your insights and guidance have truly inspired us. Token of appreciation for sharing your valuable knowledge and experiences with us today. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana from Cisco Lab. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging us throughout this session, sir. We truly appreciate your time, effort, and contribution to making today's session meaningful and memorable. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rasia Hussain, Chairperson of IEEE Student Branch Affinity Group, Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. And good evening, everyone. As we come to the end of today's artificial intelligence session of Path Forward 3.0, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our resource person, Mr. Buddhika Priyabhashana, a proud alumni of our Department of Computing and Information System at Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka. Thank you for taking the time to in the field of artificial intelligence. Your journey is truly inspiring and has shown our students and the opportunities that dedication, continuous learning, and also the passion can create. And I would also like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to our Dean, Professor BTGS Kumar sir, and our IEEE Affinity Group Counselor, Ms. Swastika Madam, for their continuous support, guidance, and encouragement. And our sincere thanks go to our knowledge partner, Cisco Lab Sri Lanka, for supporting this session. And also special thanks goes to the organizing committee for Path Forward 3.0 for their dedication and hard work behind the scene. And also finally, thank you to all the participants who joined us today. Your participation made this session meaningful and successful. And also, as this is the second session of Path Forward 3.0, we warmly invite all of you to join us for the upcoming session as well. And we have many exciting career focus sessions ahead. And with your thank you everyone for being, and we hope to see you at the next of Path Forward 3.0. Thank